In the deep, moonless jungles of Asia, the night holds its breath. A symphony of fear, played on the strings of instinct, dictates every movement. A deer freezes mid-step, its ears like satellites scanning the darkness. A troop of monkeys falls silent in the high canopy. The entire forest, teeming with life, seems to pause in unison, listening for something they cannot see. They are listening for the silence created by a ghost, not a spirit of the dead, but a ghost of the living. A creature of such power and stealth that its very presence creates a moving bubble of absolute terror, an invisible king returning to its throne. This is the tiger, and this symphony of fear it conducts is, paradoxically, the sound of a healthy, balanced world. But this ghost is fading. At the dawn of the 20th century, over 100,000 of these magnificent kings roamed the forests. Today, fewer than 6,000 remain.
Okay, collar is secure, vitals stable. Measurements recorded. She's strong.
We fight to save them, but have we ever truly asked ourselves what we are saving them from? What happens to the kingdom on the day after its last king has fallen? We imagine the story ends in a quiet, sorrowful peace, but the truth is far more brutal. The death of the king is not the end, it is the trigger for a biological apocalypse. It is the beginning of the reign of ghosts. Let us imagine that forest, on the day after its king has fallen, for the first year, then two, something that looks like a miracle begins to unfold. The entire forest seems to exhale, releasing a tension it has held for 1,000 generations. The deer, the sambar, the wild boar are no longer ghosts in their own home, flitting between shadows. They step out into the open clearings, their movements confident, their fear seemingly erased from memory. A single tiger needs to consume roughly 50 large prey animals a year to sustain itself. For the herbivores, it's as if a great, annual tax of blood has been lifted. Their populations don't just grow, they detonate. The forest floor becomes a nursery, teeming with fawns and piglets that now survive to adulthood in record numbers. The jungle is more alive than it has been in centuries, a vibrant, crowded world echoing with the calls of seemingly happy animals. Hook. It is a paradise born from a single death, a beautiful, tranquil, and prosperous lie. But this new world is living on borrowed time, for its silent architect is gone, and the bill for its absence is about to come due. The rot begins at the roots. The forest floor, once a rich carpet of flowers, herbs, and young saplings, is the first to go. The unchecked army of herbivores, now a plague of its own making, becomes a relentless engine of consumption. They devour everything. Fact, in ecosystems across the world, from North America to Japan, studies have shown that where deer populations explode without predators, the diversity and population of songbirds crashes. The deer consume the very multi-layered habitats the birds need for nesting, for cover, and for the insects they feed on. The symphony of the forest floor falls silent. The forest begins to eat itself from the inside out. Within a decade, the once lush undergrowth has been stripped bare, grazed down to compacted earth. The great canopy trees, unable to produce a new generation, now face a direct assault as starving herds stand on their hind legs to peel away their bark for sustenance. And here, the great, cruel irony unfolds. The deer and boar, the winners of this predator-free world, become its most tragic victims. Having methodically destroyed their own food supply, they begin to starve in biblical numbers. They are no longer healthy herds, but skeletal phantoms haunted by their own success. They stalk through the barren forest they have created, their paradise now a prison of hunger. Disease, fueled by malnutrition and overcrowding, rips through their weakened ranks like an unseen fire. The great herbivores are dying in a world of plenty turned barren. But the chain reaction they started has just begun to gather momentum. It is about to attack the very bones of the land itself. The birds that nested in the undergrowth have vanished. The small mammals have nowhere to hide. Now, the monsoon rains arrive. But they do not arrive as a gift of life. Without the intricate web of roots and plant life to hold the soil, the water cannot be absorbed. It becomes a liquid sandpaper, sheeting across the bare, compacted ground, scouring the landscape. It tears away centuries of precious topsoil and carries it away in thick, brown, churning torrents. This flood of sediment pours directly into the jungle's arteries, the rivers. The once clear, fast-flowing water becomes a sluggish, brown current, choked with the lifeblood of the forest. The silt smothers the gravel beds where fish lay their eggs, wiping out entire generations. It blocks the sunlight, killing the aquatic plants that anchor the river's own food web. The otters and fishing cats that relied on the fish disappear. The river is dying. The forest is now a skeleton. The deer are skeletal. The river is skeletal. What was once a vibrant, balanced world has unraveled into a landscape of mud and bone, all because one single species at the top was removed. Shocking fact: a single male tiger can command and patrol a territory of up to 100 square kilometers. Its influence is not just on the animals it eats, but on the health of every single stream, every sapling, and every patch of soil within that entire, vast kingdom. We see the tiger as a symbol of savage power, but we have fundamentally misunderstood that power. Its violence was not chaos, it was the brutal, bloody, and beautiful hand of order. We see the tiger as a symbol of savage power, but we have fundamentally misunderstood that power. Its violence was not chaos. It was the brutal, bloody, and beautiful hand of order.